Hello, I'm going to explain how to operate the system browser on a Siemens nuclear medicine workstation. There's a few different ways you can do it. First, we need to access the browser. If you're on the MI Apps card or the viewing card or the filming card, you just go up to Patient and click the browser button. The other option, there's a shortcut on the number key. Just hit the dot. It's located next to the enter and the 0 on the bottom right side of your keyboard. Once the browser is located, this program operates as a bridge between all three of the other programs, or multiple programs if you have more programs loaded up down here, such as 3D, TrueD, examination, things like that. Now, this workstation is only used for processing. It's not used for acquiring. So there's going to be some things on here we don't actually use. So it's not that I'm not explaining them, it's that it's not necessary on this workstation. Acquisition and workstations are completely different. However, these workstations could be unplugged and hooked directly up to a gamma camera, and in those cases you would use those other tools, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining those things. The scheduler is one of those. The scheduler links the hospital medical record system to the gamma camera, so that way you can select a patient and it automatically fills in their birthday, social security number, all of that information, so that all you have to do is select the type of study they're having, acquire the study, and when you go to local database, it will allow you to, when you go to the local database, it'll automatically populate everything for you if you pull them from the scheduler. Otherwise, when you do an exam on someone, you have to go to register and type everything automatically. So I'm going to cancel out of this. Now, if I go to this upside down triangle, means there's a filter on. I have a filter set so you can only see my educational files here. This patient is actually not named heart or thyroid. The study is called a myocardial perfusion, and the study is listed here. The patient's name is listed here. I just rename these for educational purposes. So if I take the filter off and you go to the DVD-ROM, I placed inside the CD tray, or the DVD tray, some quality control files. So here they are. If I wanted to take these files off the DVD and put them on our local database, you just click this little button and it imports them. I'm done using this. I don't really want to import it. It'll just take up time. All you have to do is hit that button. When you're done with it, hit the eject button and it will eject. There you go. It just took it a moment. And there's a little information tab down here. Keeps you updated on what's going on. The information tab is also on the My Applications page. So we're going to make the browser a little bit bigger. Now, if I go to Filter, turn my filter back on, go back to the local database, you can see all the studies I have. If I wanted to copy this heart scan onto a disk, I have, this computer actually has two DVD drives. One of them is for reading and one of them is for burning. I placed a blank disk inside the burning drive, and if you look up here in the top right, there's a button called Archive to DVD-R. All you do is you highlight the study that you want, or the individual pictures. Say you don't want all four of these thyroid pictures, you just want the top two, or the top one and the bottom one. Click on the first one, single click, hold down the control button, and click on the other one, and then hit Archive to DVD drive. So that's how you would archive. I'm done with that blank disk, so I'm going to eject it. If you're burning a disk for a patient, you would want to finalize it. Finalizing the disk basically closes it so you can't add anything else to it. If you're archiving patient files for your for backup for the department, you wouldn't want to finalize it. You would want to just eject so you could later burn more information to that disk. Enough about disk burning. So let's pretend that you just finished processing this cardiac scan and you need to send it to the reading room. you would want to transfer it electronically into the reading room. You can't do that from MI Apps. You need to transfer it from the browser. So you select the file or the individual image you're looking for to transfer, and you click this button. It's called Send To. It can also be found under the Transfer Send To area. Same with Eject, same with Import and all that stuff. Like I said, all these are shortcuts that can be found under here, but let's be honest, there's no reason to search through all of these different headers when you can use the shortcuts. So when I click Send To, it lists all the network nodes that this computer's hooked up to. I can select the computer I want to send it to, and I hit the Send button. This little box popped up down there real quick. I'll send something again so you can see it. There. That means that something is actively transferring. It shows the patient's name, it shows the status. This one was received, this one's completed, this one's active. There's 400 and some images that are transferring. So if I hit the clear button, it will clear out anything that is finished. It'll clear out anything except the fails. If it's a failed study, say it failed to transfer, you would have to hit the delete button. It's not actually deleting any data, it's just deleting the network job. You can always try to resend it later. If the person logs off the computer or shuts it down in the middle of a transfer, you may have a failed transfer. Anyhow, this little box is going to stay there until the job is finished transferring. Now, say I sent a static and that little box disappeared really quick and I didn't have time to check to see if it actually went over correctly. I can just go to Transfer, Network Job Status, and it pulls it back up for you. Because you can only access this little computer by double clicking on it, and if it's not there, you can't get to it. So that's how you would see what your network job status is, what's going on with it. Okay, what I need to show you now is how to edit the patient. If you click on the patient's name, these patients are actually protected so people don't actually accidentally mess with my educational files here. I'm going to remove protection, so now we can correct. I can hit this little correct button here, which is a folder with a pencil next to it. And now I can change the patient's name, ID, date of birth, stuff like that if I accidentally typed them in wrong. That's how you would correct something. If you want to delete someone, you just click this delete button. The delete button and the correct button can be found under the edit tool, the edit header. It will allow you to delete stuff if you don't like using the shortcuts. Okay. The other thing that's very useful is the fact that you can pull files from other workstations. So I just transferred a bone scan to eSoft 4 and I'm currently working on eSoft number 5. If I go to patient, I can do a query and I can select the node that I want. So let's say it's not on there. There it is, eSoft 4. Select eSoft 4, select my date range, and when I hit the query button, it's going to show all the data that is on eSoft 4 that was done today, and then all I have to do is click what I want and hit the import button. I'm not going to query and import anything, one, because I don't need to, and two, because it'll have some patient information that I don't want to share with you. So, back to the browser. That concludes the patient browser overview. I've explained how to transfer data, how to import, how to burn, how to edit, and delete data, which is primarily what the patient browser is used for. Thank you.